Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We welcome ourselves once again to our daily episodes of Golden Words. Inshallah, our goal is that at the end of Ramadan, inshallah, if we live to see which we hope for, we hope to live to see the end of Ramadan. At the end of Ramadan, you have at least 29 handy episodes of literature materials, Arabic poems, simple Arabic poems you can easily memorize, and then you can have their explanations and their meanings, easy articles with beautiful language that you can read to in handy. So this is what we intend doing. Okay, for today's episode, we are discussing envious people and how to handle them, how envious people act, what motivates them, and how to react with them. What happened was that I was there gathering some abiyat that we will discuss for today, and then a friend of mine sent me a picture that has some abiyat verses of poem on it. As I said, we discussed friendship yesterday. You should have good friends around you, friends who are interested in knowledge, friends who are interested in good things, such that you are always motivated to move on. So he sent me this picture. After reading it, I realized it was authored by الدكتور أسامة الأزهري. He is one of these top scholars in the University of Azhar in Cairo, Egypt. The abiyat were very nice, and it talks about people reaching a height and others sitting aside envying them. I loved it, so I decided that today we make the episode about envious people, and it will talk about how people reach higher heights and what causes envy, and also how to react when people are envious. Okay, so what I did was that I found some other short abiyat, patched it with Dr. Osama's own. So we are going to take one of the short abiyats, or we discuss the two short abiyats, and then we bring Dr. Osama's own. First, we have Shahab, الدين. It's said to be in الحكمة. I don't know, but I've not confirmed the reference, but the author is said to be Shahab, الدين. Actually, we were taught this poem by Ustaz Hussein in the University of Ghana, so in one of these levels then, and then later we came to have a broader understanding of it. So the poem says, وإذا الفتى بلغ السماك بفضله كانت كأعداد النجوم عداه ورموه عن حسد بكل كريهة لكنهم لا ينقصون أولاه. What it says is that وإذا الفتى, al-fata is a young man, as I've already explained in previous episodes, a young man. Balaga, rich. As-simaka, as-simaka is said to be a star, a very high star, or maybe the highest star. And when it comes from the word samaka, when you see samaka as a verb, it means irtafa'a. When we say samaka shay'u, ay irtafa'a hadha shay, the thing has gone up in height. So when we look at إذا الفتى بلغ السماك, we can say that if a young man or a young person reaches higher heights, achieves higher height, bifadlihi, due to some merit that he enjoys, or due to some favor on him, due to some good stuff that he wills, some good qualities that he carries. كانت كأعداد النجوم كانت كأعداد النجوم عداه. His enemies, أي كان عداه كأعداد النجوم. His enemies, the number of his enemies are like the number of the stars. So he get a lot of enemies. He says ورموه عن حسد بكل كريهة, أي ورموه بكل كريهة عن حسد. Everything negative, they throw it at this person that is going higher. So if you are reaching higher heights, people will start talking bad about you. People will start throwing all forms of negative stuff about you just to cut you down. But what do? Look at the last line. He says, لكنهم, but then they, لا ينقصون عُلَاهُ, they cannot reduce his height. They can't bring him down. وَرَمَوْهُ, and they throw at him, from rama, to throw. And hasadin, from envy, due to envy. بِكُلِّ كَرِيهَةٍ, with every negative thing. Kariha is something that is disliked, something that anything negative is كريهة. So he says the poem again. وإذا الفتى بلغ السماك بفضله كانت كأعداد النجوم عداه ورموه عن حسد بكل كريهة لكنهم لا ينقصون علاه. Okay, the next is from Abdullah bin al-Mu'taz. He says اصبر على مضض الحسود فإن صبرك قاتله فالنار تأكل بعضها البعض أي فالنار تأكل نفسها هي إن لم تجد ما تأكله ولربما نال الفتى بالصبر ما لم يأمله. This poem, I've seen it in a lot of versions. Some read اصبر على حسد العدو, and this one that I brought here is اصبر على مضض الحسود فإن صبرك قاتله. At a point too, I found a version that reads فالنار تأكل بعضها البعض إن لم تجد ما تأكله. Okay, but then all means the same thing. It says اصبر على مضض الحسود. Be patient over the schemes of the envious people. Be patient. When you see them scheming, calm down. فإن صبرك قاتله. For your patience kills this envious person. When you are patient, somebody is trying to cut you down, doing all forms of things. What they want from you is انفعال, for you to react. لا تنفعل, do not react. Your lack of reaction, your patience kills this person. And he gives us a similitude of this with a very wise saying. He says, فَالنَّارُ تَأْكُلُ نَفْسَهَا. For the fire eats up itself. When you set a fire and it's blazing and you don't put anything in it to burn, the fire keeps burning itself. إِن لَمْ تَجِدْ مَا تَأْكُلُهُ. If it doesn't find anything to burn. And he says, وَلَرُبَّمَا. Perhaps, نَالَ الْفَتَى. نَالَ to obtain. وَلَرُبَّمَا نَالَ الْفَتَى. Perhaps a person might obtain بِالصَّبْرِ, with patience, مَا لَمْ يَأْمُلُهُ, what he did not even hope for. When you are patient, there are things that you didn't even hope for, you didn't even have any hopes in you reaching at. But patience will take you there. So when you see people scheming against you, do not react against them. Do not reflect their attitude. It makes you look the same as them. Okay, so he says, اصبر على مضض الحسود فإن صبرك قاتله فالنار تأكل نفسها إن لم تجد ما تأكله ولربما نال الفتى بالصبر ما لم يأمله. Okay, now let's come to Dr. Osama al-Azhari's own. What did he say? He says, رأوا منك التعلق فوق قمة أو رأوا منك التعلق فوق قمة, as the poem goes. They saw from you التألق بالhamza hamza تألق is glitter, shining, beaming, the way light sparkles. That is what we call at-ta'alluq. When somebody is coming, somebody is dressed nicely with all these fine, you see the person glittering. That is what we call at-ta'alluq. And then he says radiance, Ani. So he says, Ra'au minka, they saw from you at-ta'alluqa, this radiance. They saw from you radiance. Fawqa qimmatin. Qimma is zenith, or apex of something, or a height. So it's like you are standing up above and they are looking at you and they are seeing you glitter. The manner you've reached higher height and they are seeing you glitter. Maybe they are seeing you very wealthy, very knowledgeable. They are seeing all this kind of good stuff around you. And then he says, وَلَمْ يَرَوْا الصِّعَابَ الْمُدْلَهِمَّ. As-si'ab is difficulties. But they did not see the difficulties, al-mudlahimma, difficulties that are very dark. When we say al-mudlahimma, we mean pitch black, very dark black, or gloomy. So they saw you glitter, but they did not see the hardships, the very tough hardships you went through before reaching the Qimma. Now, we have a bank called Zenith Bank. I think it emanates from Nigeria, it's in Ghana too. Zenith Bank, when you are doing translation and you see Zenith Bank, please, in the name of God, do not say bank kimma or masraf kimma, because kimma means zenith. And you say Redwan taught me that. No, when you are translating Zenith Bank, please write Zenith Bank with Arabic. Do not translate it. In translation, names, we leave them as it is, unless when it is just a meaning name. Some names are given per meaning, not really the word in itself. So you can't see Redwan and translate it. Say pleasure, it's Redwan. So if you see Zenith, it's Zenith as a name. But when you are speaking everyday language and you want to talk about the zenith of the mountain or the zenith of a building or something, you can say Kimma, Kimmatul Jabal. That is allowed. Okay. So it says again in the second bait, Lida, and due to that, when they because they didn't see the difficulties, they just saw you up above there. Due to that, Dahiku, they laughed, waqalu, and they said, ذاك سهل. ذاك for the record is the same as ذلك, but ذاك is said to be for closer than ذلك. The lam gives the meaning of bond. So ذاك is closer, ذلك father, but all means that. So they will laugh and say ذاك سهل, that is easy. وكل الناس ينجز ذي المهمة, and ذي is also the same as هذه, but ذي is closer. The dhal yai. You can refer to the poem. I'll give the text as I always do in the description section, so you can refer to them and see the word clearly. Dhal yai. And as they laugh and say this is easy, they will say wa kullu nasi, everybody yunjizu dhil muhimma. Al muhimma means al amal, or a duty. They will say everybody can accomplish this work that you've accomplished, or this thing that we're able to do. Everybody can do it. Yunjizu is from anjaza, to accomplish something. So everybody can do it. وَقَدْ رَأَوا النَّجَاحَ, and they had seen the success. وَغَابَ عنهم عاناة, but then the struggles, mu'anat is the fortitude, the suffering. غَابَ عنهم, they did not see that. وَقَدْ رَأَوْا النَّجَاحَ, they have seen success, the success that you are in at the higher height, but then غَابَ عنهم mu'anatun, the struggles, the fortitude you had to put up, they did not see that. غَابَ عنهم. وآلام, and the pains, the plural of alam, they did not see it too. وهمة, and the zeal that you put through it, they did not see all that. It says وَقَدْ رَأَوْا النَّجَاحَ وَغَابَ عَنْهُمْ مُعَانَاتٌ وَآلَامٌ وَهِمَّةٌ. It says فَلَا تَعْبَأْ بِهِمْ. لَا تَعْبَأْ, don't mind them. لَا تَعْبَأْ بِهِمْ, don't mind them. فَلَا تَعْبَأْ بِهِمْ, do not mind them, do not give them any attention. وَأَدِمْ, adim is the command from adama, to persist on. And he says wa'adim, and persist on what? Su'udan, keep climbing. Sa'ada, he had climbed. Su'ud, climbing. So wa'adim su'udan, and persist, climbing. وَكُنْ لِلنَّاسِ زُخْرًا, and be a kind of stock. When we say zukhran, stock or provisions, when people lack, when people do not have, be their supply, be their provision. It says وَكُنْ لِلنَّاسِ زُخْرًا فِي الْمُلِمَّةِ, and mulimma is calamity, every calamity, accident, every bad thing that befalls a person is mulimma. كُنْ لِلنَّاسِ زُخْرًا فِي الْمُلِمَّةِ, be the source of provision for people during calamity. When people are down, be the source of their strength. It says وَكُنْ فِي النَّاسِ أَنْتَ أَخَ الْمَآلِ, and as you are among people, be a person that carries good characters. When we say ma'ali, we mean al-akhlaq al-mahmuda, characters that are praiseworthy. So he says وَكُنْ فِي النَّاسِ أَنْتَ أَخَ الْمَآلِ, be among people somebody who has good characters, or somebody who is noble. And he says وَكُنْ فِي النَّائِبَاتِ سِرَاجَ ظُلْمَةِ, and na'ibat is the plural of na'iba, which is also disaster, calamity. So he says, kun fin naibati, and during disaster, be siraja mulimma, siraja zulma. Siraj is lamp, be the lamp in the darkness. And he says, the last line, yuridul hasiduna liyutfi'uhu. This lamp that you are, yuridul hasiduna, the envious people want to put it out. Yutfi'u from atfa'a. And when we say atfa and nur, or atfa and nar, to quench the light or to quench the fire. The envious ones want to quench your light. وَيَأْبَى اللَّهُ إِلَّا أَن يُتِمَّ. And Allah refuses for that to happen except that He completes your light for you. Okay, I think this is very beautiful. You agree with me why I switched to discussing this. Okay, so I read it again. It says, رأوا منك التألق فوق قمة ولم يروا الصعاب المدلهمة لذا ضحكوا وقالوا ذاك سهل وكل الناس ينجز ذي المهمة وقد رأوا النجاح وغاب عنهم عاناة وآلام وهمة فلا تأبأ بهم وأدم صعودا وكل الناس زخرا في الملمة وكن في الناس أنت أخ المآلي وكن في النائبات سراج ظلمة يريد الحاسدون ليطفئوه ويأبى الله إلا أن يتمه. Okay, so with this we come to the end of this episode. I hope it was an interesting one. I'll expect to see you in the next episode, inshallah. Before until we meet, have a good time. Ramadan Mubarak. May Allah accept our fast, accept our prayers, make us better every day, and make us strong against those who envy us, and make them also change their minds and join us in doing more good. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bye.